Before I get into this, I'm gonna give people time to come in. Okay, this is going to be a informational live stream. Okay, so I'm gonna wait till the 2 minute mark. All right, and then I'm gonna get into the video. That way, if you watch this replay, then you will know. Turn this down a little bit. If you watch the replay, then you know at the 2 minute mark, you can go ahead and fast forward it, because that's when I will be starting. Okay, like I say, just to get people to come in, 2 minute mark, the live stream will start. All right. Hey, everybody that's coming in, I'm waiting to the 2 minute mark. Hey, Yolanda's Life, PNG. Thank y'all for coming in. We almost there. Y'all, it's raining cats and dogs here. It's been raining all morning, and it's supposed to be raining clean to, I think, Thursday, y'all. All right. 2 minutes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. All right. All right, so y'all see the title. So all I wanted to do in this video is to go over some tips, just like, I guess you could say, some refreshers, because this happened almost every year. But with everything that's been going on this year, you just can't never be, too safe or whatnot. Like, oh, I'll deal with it when it's come. Well, it could come sooner than later, okay? The weather is so crazy. All right, you don't know from 1 minute to the next. It's the first time for everything. So I'm just gonna go over some tips with y'all. Whether you think it's beneficial for you or not, keep in mind when you research a lot of tips for hurricanes, tornado season, that type of stuff, they give you mainly, like, it seems like if you are living in a house. But I know people live in apartments, trailers, all that good stuff. Okay, so I would say there may be a little extra that you may have to do, or there may be some things that don't even pertain to you. Okay, I know back home we are prone to tornadoes, and I grew up I grew up in a trailer. Nice trailer, nothing is wrong with that. Some people look down on trailers. There is nothing wrong with trailers. If I go get me some land here, because my family have land back home. If I were to go back home, I'm definitely getting me a trailer, because I like them. Okay, I like them. But when it comes to tornadoes and stuff, you can get some really nice trailers. Okay, we lived in one on a big area of land, pine trees and stuff. It was beautiful. Okay, growing up. But when tornadoes and stuff hit, we did have to go to hotels and stuff. We had a lot of pine trees in our yard, and my granny just did not want to risk, one of them falling on the trailer or whatnot with us in it. So we always seemed like we was leaving when they say a bad tornado warning or something like that. So that's just one of the little downfalls or whatnot. Okay, these days and time, people that think something is wrong with trailers, you never know where you may have to be, and you may be happy to be in one. Okay, nothing wrong with that. That's what I prefer. But so I say that to say, depending on what you're living in, that may determine, what you have to do. But it seems like all the resources be going for if you live in a house or whatnot. They're not even really thinking about apartments unless you type in apartment safety during a hurricane or something. Now, I've been through several hurricanes and tropical storms being up here in North Carolina. Back when Katrina hit. I was 18, newly 18, and I had got on my own then. And I was living in Jackson, Mississippi at that time when Katrina hit. And oh my goodness, that it damaged a lot in Jackson, Mississippi, even though it hit in Louisiana. Okay, so much. I remember that. It power lines down. It was so much damage. But the worst was in Louisiana. But yeah. Jackson, Mississippi, Crystal Spring, Mississippi, which is where I'm from. That's where, well, I'm from Crystal Spring, Mississippi, but that's only like 15 minutes, depending on your driving, from Jackson. Okay. So since I've been up here, 2018, I say, was probably the worst hurricane I've been in since I've been in North Carolina. Okay. And that was Hurricane Florence, where we had to leave for 7 days. And where I live, I'm in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Now it's crazy. Jackson, Mississippi, Jacksonville, North Carolina. So, where I'm at, I'm coastal. Like, you got Jacksonville, you got water. I'm right on the water, like, as far as the city. And so when Florence hit, we evacuated. Some people stayed and stuck it out like people always do. But they was recommending that you leave. I remember I was working at Walmart at the time, and Walmart would not let me out. It was an evacuation, and they would not let me out. They wouldn't let us off until our shift ended. So when my shift ended, we ended up leaving. We went to Raleigh, Durham area, North Carolina. And we had to be there for 7 days, okay? We had animals. We had summer. So we had to get a hotel that was pet friendly. We wanted one with a kitchenette. We didn't know exactly how long we was going to have to stay, but it ended up being 7 days, because where I live at, the part of town I live at, the road leads to my house is only one road off the main road. And when you turn where I live, you have to go back that way. It's only one, it's 2 ways you can get from in here, but they both lead to the main road. And that road was underwater. It was so much water to where they had to rescue people on boats. Okay. You could not drive. So we could not get back home after the storm at all. And then other back roads and stuff that would have even got us to Jacksonville, they was underwater and they collapsed. So we was not able to get home for 7 days. Okay, so I take it very seriously, whether I'm back home in Mississippi or whether I'm right here in North Carolina. I take it serious each year. So that gives you a little backstory. There was a lot of damage here. Luckily, we had damage to only the garage. Okay, and then a couple things was broken, whatnot, but our garage had to be redone. So let's get into and I'm gonna tell y'all some of my pointers that they don't tell you when you look it up. Okay, so let's get into it. Before a hurricane or a tornado, first of all, I would say, if they tell you to evacuate. Y'all probably hear thunder. It's been storming. It's crazy. But evacuate. I know some people know I'll ride it out, I'll stick it out, I do. I'm not doing that. Like I say, growing up, tornadoes hit, and I hate to say this, it was sad, but there was some incidents right in Crystal Springs, Mississippi, where I'm from, that people didn't leave, and tornadoes hit, and they found them up in trees, not alive. Okay, so when you deal with that, or things like that, or something, you don't take precautions, then that's kind of on you. You got to understand, the first 48 to 72 hours, you may be on your own. Because if it's really bad conditions and stuff bad, it's going to be hard for help to get to you. If you don't have water, if you don't have power, you don't have food, you don't have it may be hard for paramedics to get to you. You may not be able to call nobody because lines and stuff could be down. So it's important that the first 48 to 72 hours, you need to make sure you have yourself prepared as much as possible. We can never be too prepared because we don't never know exactly what will happen. But things that we can get, we need to be prepared, okay? So evacuate if they tell you to evacuate. I know a lot of people won't do that, but it is what it is. Before the storm, secure the outside, okay, of your house. If you're in a house, if you're in anything other than a apartment where that may not even, apply to you. If you're in anything other than an apartment, make sure that you are tying down things outside. You don't want garbage cans and all that stuff flying around just freely. If it do and you done put it down, you can't do nothing about that. But toys and plants and things like that, make sure things is, tied down as much as possible. If you can, this is something else they tell you to do, but everybody cannot do. You got elderly people, you got people that's disabled. Trim trees. If you're able to trim trees around your house without getting hurt, just taking out excess branches and all that type of stuff without getting hurt, then do it, okay? If it's going to be something difficult that you may get injured doing it, don't do it. But if you can, trim trees and things like that. Also, this is going to apply to only a certain group of people. If you can get shutters for your windows, get them, okay? Most people that like own their own homes and stuff and live in areas that's prone to hurricanes, tornadoes, storms in general, they probably have shutters. But, that's just something they want you to know. All right? Next is build emergency kit. All right. First aid kit should be the first thing, okay? You need to make sure you have a good, solid first aid kit, okay? I'll show you the one we have in another video, okay? But it has some of everything in it. You also can build your first aid kit, okay? Something is better than nothing. Go to the Dollar Tree if you got to. If your money is a little funny, go to the Dollar Tree. Get different things, okay? Different things you may need. Also, something they don't mention really is medication. There's a lot of people that takes medication, that needs certain medication on a daily basis. Blood pressure pill, diabetes medicine, that type of stuff. Make sure you have enough. I would recommend, just to be safe, make sure you have at least a week or 2 weeks enough. If you know you low on your prescription and you have a prescription, you low on your meds, you only got maybe about 5 blood pressure pills or whatever it is you take. I don't know what other people, I'm just throwing out what seems like it's more common. Or if you know you only got a few more doses of insulin or something, try to get to your doctor if you don't have a prescription, if you don't have a refill, and try to get it. Try to have at least a week and a half of medicine that you take daily on hand, okay? Make sure you have a hand crank radio. I have done multiple videos on the one I have, okay? This is a hand crank radio for anybody that may be new and don't know. You can wind this up and you can get the weather and you can get alerts, okay? So make sure you have one of those. They are inexpensive. I mean, for what they do, they not really expensive. Everybody should be able to get one of those, okay? Food and water, of course. Make sure you have, as they say, at least a gallon of water a day for everybody, for each person in your house. So if you got 5 people in your house, you need 5 gallons of water at least, okay? Even though everybody may not be drinking a gallon of water a day. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying to be safe. If you got more, then that's always good. But if it's 5 people, like it's 5 people in here, I need to make sure that at least 5 gallons of water is here, because that's a gallon a day for each person. So 5 gallons of water per day is what I will have to make sure that I have on hand, okay? So you add that up per day, and you talking about 7 days. I mean, that's a lot of water. So that's why you should be stocking up on your cases of water, especially when they are cheap. Or you can just buy them, from like Sam's Club, Costco, or something like that. Or even Walgreens. I mean, not Walgreens, Walmart. All right. Food. Power may go out. Make sure you have things that you can heat up on a grill. You know, you can put a pot on a grill or something. Heat up. Well, you probably won't be doing that during the storm, but after the storm, power may still be out. I know here people was out of power for like 3-4 weeks. It took a long time for some people in certain areas because of the damage to even get power after Florence hit. Okay, so make sure if you got power stations, make sure they are charged before the storm hit. Okay, because you may not be getting that much sun, and you don't want to use your power station to be plugging up high wattage stuff, because you may not have sun for a couple of days or enough to use your solar panels to charge this thing back up. So if you, like, say if you're a diabetic or something, you need insulin, then you would want to keep all the juice you can to refrigerate that. Okay, so you got medication and stuff that need to be refrigerated. That's gonna be your primary thing, is keeping a refrigerator, little refrigerator, or you can have one of the RV refrigerators, something that a power station can charge up and keep things cool. They even have them little soda can refrigerator things. If they stay cold enough, that should be something that you look into if you take insulin and stuff like that. Okay, let me see. And you know what? Let me just say that now that I'm thinking about it, that will be something good to have, one of those on a power station, because say you don't take no type of medication. And say, like, I got kids, and I know when I was little, I always stayed sick. It seemed like amoxicillin and penicillin, a little bubblegum flavor, was always in the refrigerator because I always stayed sick. So when I think about it now, you don't know, they could come up and say, hey, a storm gonna hit on Monday, but your child got sick on Friday, Saturday. You took it to the doctor and they give them amoxicillin, okay? And that has to be refrigerated, all right? So it will always be good, even if you're not on any medication or anything like that you may need. It will still be good to have some way to keep something cold, okay? Because things like that happen, you know. Most of us as parents, or have, whether your kids are grown or not, you done been there, so you can't determine when a child or someone may get sick or something, and then you don't have a way to keep something cold. So look into keeping something cold. Okay, let's see, and I'm gonna get to y'all comments at the end of this. I see comments popping up. I'm not reading them right now. I just want to kind of flow through this so I don't waste nobody's time. Let's see, what else did I put? Oh, okay, so food and water. When it comes to food, we talked about water, so when it comes to food, you want to make sure that it's things that's easy. You can easily heat up soups, viennas. I'm not too big on that processed stuff. Y'all know I done talked about this so many times with the prepper pantry and stuff. I'm not too big on it, but if that's what you prefer, then by all means, you know, do it. But get things that will be easy to heat up. If you have a homestead, like I have quails, if I just had to have meat or something, and it's after a storm, and I go butcher a couple of them real quick and then throw them on a grill or something, you know, if I just needed something fresh like that, you know. And that's just me weighing my options. But there's like canned chicken that's in water that don't have all that sodium and stuff in it you can get. Just know you don't want to eat everything processed for 7 days, okay? So try to get some healthy things that you can, you know, have to eat for you and your family, that you don't have to cook much of or whatnot. All right, so let's see. All right, so know where to evacuate to. So just say it was a voluntary evacuation. They can go, as the storm get closer, they can go and say, hey, no, it's mandatory now. You know, people need to leave. You don't want to be trying to figure out where to go with all. You should have your bags ready. You should have everything that you need, and you should know if a storm or something hit, where is 9 times out of 10 they don't change it all the time. It be kind of a set place for you to evacuate. You need to know your area. You need to know if something like that were to hit, where is the place that they probably will open up? What route would be best to take? You know, some routes that you would normally take may not be the best to take, especially if you done got a lot of rain before the storm. It just depends. These are things you need to know so you can, you know, kind of flow a little bit when it, you know, when something happened, you can flow a little bit far as knowing where to go. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Where it's getting tangled up. So know your evacuation zone, know where to go, and also know how you will get there. Okay, some people don't have transportation, so you need to, you know, you got elderly people or disabled people that they have like the home health and stuff that comes by and pick them up and take them to their appointments and stuff like that. If you know somebody that's like that, they need to know, is those services gonna be available for people in like stormy situations and things like that. So those are things you need to look into now. Okay. Let's see. Stay informed. That's where the crank radio come in again. Is you need to try to stay informed of what the news is telling you to do for your area, what the weather is, the updates, have there's been any changes, any turns, any, you know, you need to have something that you can stay informed with alerts. Okay. Also, now all this is before the storm now. Okay. Check insurance policies. Okay. If you have home insurance, and these days you have to have renter's insurance in a lot of places. Okay. And I know here they changed it a lot. At first, if you were renting somewhere, you didn't have to have it. I know for us, about a year or 2 years maybe ago, they started saying that it was mandatory to have renter's insurance. So, yeah. So, if you have any type of, if you own your home and you have it insured and stuff, make sure you go over your policies and know things that you need to know, and also make sure you take that with you. When Florence hit and we was dealing with FEMA and stuff, there was a lot of people that say they had insurance, but they didn't have the documents with them. So they had to go to the back of the line, try to call their insurance, try to get insurance policies faxed over. Now you can keep yourself from going through a lot of hassle by having your insurance papers and stuff copied and with you. Have multiple copies in different areas, but have them with you in case you have to leave. Okay. Now we are at during the hurricane. Okay. This is one that people do. And I know it ain't even been hurricanes or tornadoes. It's been thunderstorms. And people have been losing their lives for getting struck by lightning. Okay. Because they want to go outside. I was always told growing up, stay away from windows and do not go outside. If it's thundering, 9 times out of 10, they say that lightning is around, whether you see it or not. So I always know when I hear thundering, I'm not going outside. If I'm outside, I'm coming in. Okay. But some people don't believe that. Okay. So some of that electricity go through your body, you'll believe it, and it'll be nobody's fault but yours, because no. So, stay inside and away from windows. Okay, stay inside and away from windows during the storm. Okay, a wind or something can blow something through the window and harm you. Just stay away from the windows, and don't go outside. But some people do that thinking it's all giggles and stuff. Okay, so stay away from flooded areas. Okay, don't walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. That's something else I see people tend to want to do, especially up here. They want to try to drive through. You don't know how that ground is under there. Like I say, we had a lot of collapsed grounds. You do not know how that ground is under there. You'll end up being in a sinkhole somewhere, walking it, and they think it's fun. I know when the roads here flooded, they flooded so high because we got little inlets. Like maybe about 30 seconds from my house, there's a water inlet. We have inlets all through this town. Like, it's all these inlets runs into the Atlantic Ocean, because I said we coastal. So 30 seconds from my house is an inlet. Literally another 30 seconds in the difference, you on the main road. And that road was the one flooded, and people was out. I understand the ones that was trying to rescue people that was in their boats and stuff, trying to get to people's homes and rescue them. But then you had people out there that was in the way, trying to fish. Okay, because the river and stuff had overflowed onto our main road, and they was trying to fish. All right, so people was out there on different types of four-wheelers and stuff, trying to, just doing the most. Okay, so it's not advised to do that. You don't know what's going on under there. You don't know what's in the water that came from the ocean or something. You do not know. So it's not a smart thing to try to walk and drive through, flood waters. No, especially when they high up. Okay, so yeah, stay in the know. Keep up with updates. I said that again, but they stress this a lot. Make sure you have something to keep up with updates. Okay. Now we at after the hurricane. You want to check for any property damage. The norm. Everybody come by and see what all damage. People start driving around town, trying to see, what's open, what's not, and what damage is there. All that. I also, you want to look for safety hazards, because you could go out there, there could be power lines and stuff down that them wires is still live. So you want to make sure you be very, very careful as you're going out checking around your house, or if you're going to other places, you need to be looking for safety hazards, things that nobody hadn't caught. It is after the storm. You don't want to drive over no power lines that's still alive. You don't want to walk over none of that. You have to make sure that you are being cautious and secure, if you can, safely any safety hazards. Okay. Local alerts after the storm. So during the whole shebang, before, after, during, all that, you want to keep up with alerts. And then you start your cleanup. If you need to contact the insurance companies and stuff, you will have to do that as soon as possible, because you got to keep in mind, everybody gonna be trying to put in their claims. Okay, and that's just part of the cleanup and all that good stuff. Okay, so that is my little tips. I'm pretty sure it's most stuff that can be said, but y'all, this is a live screen, this is a video, ain't no way, and a lot of times I'm gonna be able to get everything without having an extremely long live screen, and that is something I'm trying not to do with this video. I'm trying to have it more of a video form. So we already at 28 minutes. So that is just some refresher tips and updates on, what to do for the upcoming storm season. Okay, so now let me get to some of y'all comments. I saw y'all was coming, and for those of you that do not know, I'm doing all live streams for the whole month. Okay, on both channels. So when I come on, there'll be sometimes I interact with y'all depending on what it's about, and sometimes I'm just gonna get to the point, because I want to treat it as a video once I hit in on this. Okay, so yeah, I'll get to your comments afterwards. So you can put them in, but I'll get to them afterwards. Now let's see. Let me put on my eye help, because I'm blind as a bat. All right, let me see. And the phone right here, y'all, and I can't see it. Let's see. Hey, PNG, Yolanda's Live, Tasha Marshall, Mel, La Familia, hey, y'all, Kalita, Ralph, thank you, Ralph, very true, girl, I wanted to tell you. Get paper plates so you don't have to waste water cleaning dishes. Yes, Mel. Yep. flavor. Yes, I remember when Sandy hit and my son was on medicine. I thank God we were able to keep it cold. Yes, Yolanda. Thank you, Ralph. Canned fruit and its juice can help hydrate you. Yes, Mel, that's a good point. Yep. You sure can drink that juice. To catch up with this one. Okay. You're always on point and something I need to put in my bug out bag. Stays in jail, my insurance paper while I forgot. Yes, Diane Wynn. Yes, honey. So right, people take chances they should not take. Yep, they sure do. They sure do. Hey, Shatika. All right, y'all. So I got all y'all comments. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this here, but I'm gonna take a little bit of break, and then I got another live stream coming up and another live stream coming up. So I was supposed to do live streams yesterday, and I didn't. I was surprised with some I was surprised with some good little gifts or whatnot. One of them is right here. These lilies, they are so pretty. And I just ate a lot of junk food and relaxed. Relaxed and enjoyed my little things that my kids had got for me. And Oronde, I didn't expect as much as I didn't expect what they was doing. I didn't know anything, so I just took the time yesterday to just spend time with everybody and just relax. And it started raining yesterday. Like I said, it's been raining all day. So but yeah, today is Monday, so I'm back at it. So if y'all don't get notifications, just make sure y'all stepping back. I do have that special video that I hope live stream that I hope is gonna help some people. It's helping us to cut costs on things, so I still have to do that. So I'm gonna come back and do that one here in a little bit, not too long, maybe about 15-20 minutes maybe. I'll be live again. So if y'all want to check that out, I can't say look for notification because they probably not gonna send them. But yeah, just check back on the channel, okay? So let's see. Another important tip: pray, don't panic, stay focused, and go done. And that's before panic causes self-destruction. That's a good tip. Maps are good to have on hand and in cars as well. Yep, I had did a video maybe about a week or two talking about maps. Maps is that's something that you need, okay? You need maps of your local area, and it'd be good to have it of your state. You may be able to get maps from your extension. If every place, 9 times out of 10, probably got an extension nearby. So look up and see if you have an extension for your area, and they probably have like maps and stuff of your local area or of the state you in or whatever the case may be, and see if you could get those. But having a couple of those in bug out bags in your car, accessible to you very quickly would be very, very good thing to do. So with that being said, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see y'all back here in a little bit, okay? Y'all be safe. Bye.